Hey, so I screwed up yesterday. Basically, I drew this top line here, and I want to get the most out of my deck. So what I'm doing is I'm moving that out so that it comes down to a flat. Basically, I had a 2x4 here, and this was perpendicular, so I need to move my arc. Let's see, I need to move my arc out here. The way you do that is you get one of these, hopefully, or even just a 90-degree angle board. I'm going to line that up at my, so that I can line up this 90-degree angle at the arc, and then I set it back about 4 or 5 inches, and that's going to be enough for the metal plate to cover. Essentially, you don't need to waste all this wood just in order to cut something that's going to break anyway. Essentially, this is going to come down. I got my main support of a 2x4 right there, and then the sheets are going to come down and support the final layers of the top layer and then the steel. So essentially, this is the cutting. So here we go, we've got this. If I were to draw this line, I'd have this set back right here. I already drew it. And then I'd come right up here, and it comes, a 2x4 is gonna fit basically right, set back just a little bit. And so now, instead of if I cut this down to 20 inch little board. Let's see. If I cut this down, instead of 4 inches, I've got 12 inches of deck. And I can patch that on too if I want a bigger deck. Like an 18-inch deck is probably best. So if I have extra scraps of this, I'll just put those on there and then screw together, a 2x4 or another piece of plywood to strengthen up that area. But most of the weight will be back here. It'll just be on feebles or whatever. So anyway, this video is for the cutting of this. Essentially, you can use a jigsaw like this. I don't recommend it. They're real squirrely. If you have a nice skill saw, that's great, but you can do it with a less than ideal one. You're going to set the depth. If you're cutting over 1/2 inch, you're going to want to do it in 2 different cuts, just so you get a real smooth transition. Obviously, you want a pretty sharp blade on there. If it's getting dull, I would suggest getting a new one or cutting a bunch of different, cutting it a few different times. Here's my sacrificial piece. Already lots of cuts on it. You can do this, or you could do 2x4s placed. But as long as you have the depth set properly, shouldn't be a problem. Ear protection, eye protection for everyone around. Make sure your cord is clear. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be watching this edge. So this is a guide, but this is the cut. So we'll be watching this edge, and we'll match this line. I'll do it in one cut. So basically what we want to do is line up this notch here, tilt it up, bring the guard up a little bit, and I'm coming down so that this piece is hitting this line right here. then at the end, you've also got a nice piece if you want to. You got this piece. If you have longer pieces, you can actually cut 2 out of them pretty easily. But right now, if I'm going to extend this, I'm just going to cut this line, and then I'll put another piece right here, screw it all together so it's nice and tight, and then I'll put the other supports in there as well. Anyway, that's cutting the transition. If you guys have any questions or anything, just hit me up. If you want to learn any skate tricks, just let us know. All right, thanks a lot.